Baby girl, I'm going to teach you 3 different types of belly that you might be struggling with. You might even have a combination of all 3, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to reverse it. We're not talking about diets, and no, you don't even need to go to the gym. I had 4 babies in 5 years. I even ended up having an umbilical hernia surgery. I made a lot of mistakes, and now I help my ladies on this channel get snatched, feel so good in their body again, in their hormones again, in their feminine energy, in their nervous system. So even if you've had surgery, even if you're thinking of having surgery, I want you to watch this to the very end because you're going to learn so much about your own body, babe. So grab your book, go grab some tea because you're going to want to take notes. I'm about to change your life. And for those lovely ladies that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha.
And I'm Brian.
I was a former single mom with 4 kids, went through a whole bunch of trauma and loss. If you're interested in learning more about dating and relationships and feeling good in your body again, I'm talking your hormones, your nervous system, all that.
Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos and content.
We're going to start off. I'm going to show you the 3 different types of belly. You might have 1, 2, or maybe all 3, and then I'll dive deep and show you exactly how to reverse each one of those. So the first type of belly that I often see and I help women reverse is the hormone belly. So that's the belly fat. That's that stubborn belly fat. You know you have a hormone belly because you probably didn't have weight here maybe when you were younger, and now all of a sudden you're starting to accumulate fat here. Another sign is you have other hormone issues. So it could be horrible PMS, it could be horrible perimenopause, menopause, PCOS, fibroids, cortisol issues, cortisol face is another huge thing, infertility issues, low libido. I'll put a whole bunch of symptoms here so you guys can check, but often it's not just the stubborn belly. Belly number 2 is the bloated belly. Feel heavy in your belly. Now, this can be caused from a couple different things. It might be from digestion. So you might have actual gut issues like gut dysbiosis. You might have food intolerances, or that can also be from hormones. For example, cortisol can cause bloating issues, and it can cause you to retain a lot of water weight as well. And then the third type of belly is the rectus diastasis belly. It's the mommy tummy. Now, this is what I had. So this is if maybe you don't have any fat there. Maybe you've already shrunk. I was super tiny. But your muscles have been separated. So you have natural corset muscle called your TVA muscle, your transverse abdominal muscle. And with each pregnancy, the muscles split apart. That is okay if they come back together. But if they don't come back together and you're a crazy lady like me and it was doing a whole bunch of crunchies and sit-ups and weightlifting and not knowing that you need to wear a waist trainer when you lift weights, or you should not be doing crunchies and sit-ups and those side bends and all those things that you see ladies do on social media right after you've had babies, you've likely split your abdomen muscles apart even more. Now, if it's not too much of a gap, you can close it back together. You might just have like a little bit of a bulge, like a little bit of a tent. But if you have a major separation, you definitely want to go and get checked by your doctor first, because you can end up with something called an umbilical hernia. That's what happened with me. And I actually ended up needing to get surgery to get it repaired. I went to go see my family doctor. I had a 4.5 finger abdomen separation because I had 4 babies in 5 years. I did all the things you're not supposed to do. All the things that I teach on this channel, I did not know before. This is why I teach you girls this. And so I had a major, major umbilical hernia that required surgical repair. Otherwise, there's no way I would have ever gotten surgery. So if you're not sure if you have rectus diastasis, just look, when you're lying down and you put your head up and you look at your abs, do you tent? Does your abdomen muscles tent? Do they bulge out? Like right down here, if it bulges out, and you might even feel a gap between your abdomen muscles, that's something called a rectus diastasis or diastasis recti gap. There's some things I'm going to show you today that's going to help close that gap and re-tighten your waistline. Hopefully you won't need surgery, but even if you've had surgery, you still want to do this because we don't want to make it worse. So let's work on reversing the hormone belly first. So the 2 main hormones that I love to focus on with my ladies that I help coach is insulin and cortisol. Those are the 2 master hormones. These are the hormones that if you've been following me on this channel, you should know I talk about this all of the time because these are the hormones that actually control your other hormones. They influence everything. Perimenopause, your thyroid, PCOS, how your body stores weight, your cravings, everything. Literally everything, your libido, everything. Some of the best things you can do to reverse and melt the hormone belly fat. One is lowering your stress cortisol. Stress cortisol is your fight or flight hormone. It's not a bad thing, but if you're constantly stressed out, cause your body to store belly weight. It's going to affect your other hormones. It's going to trigger junk food cravings. You're probably not going to sleep properly, which is just going to have a ripple effect with your other hormones. So some of the simple things you can do with the cortisol, like I teach, to really de-stress your nervous system, really working on things that actually calm you down, really learning how to get into your feminine energy and out of your overdoing, hustling, grinding, masculine energy mode. Even if you're a successful boss, baby, you're an overgiver. You probably have boundary issues. You're probably just doing so much for so many people, and you're probably not resting properly. Okay, these are non-negotiables. Like, you cannot have this and be like this and expect to have balanced hormones. It's just not going to happen. Okay, babe? Other thing with the insulin is some simple things you can do is intermittent fasting. You girls hear me talk about this all the time on my channel. I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting to help support your hormones, even if you're perimenopause, menopause age. It will help you so, so much. Another simple thing you can do, babe, is during your eating window, you want to make sure you're having protein, you're having fiber, and you're having adaptogens. So going back to the protein, this is why I talk about things like bone broth. Literally can sip on bone broth. You can have adaptogen teas. You can take supplements. Another way to help really balance the insulin levels is incorporating things like inulin, inositol. I have the Feel Great system, but find something that's going to help stabilize your blood sugar throughout the day. This is also the best way to help you age in reverse. If you focus on just these two hormones, not only are you going to lose the belly fat, babe, but you are literally going to start to age in reverse. You're going to start to look younger and feel younger. Your libido is going to go back up. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more mental clarity. You are going to feel so delicious. So for bloating issues, baby girl, do not ignore bloating. Your body is trying to tell you that things are off. I lost my late husband to colon cancer. So these are things that I do not mess around with. And this is also why I'm on here educating you ladies about your body and especially your gut area. So if you have bloating, digestive issues, it could be different things, but some of the things that I found that works so good for the ladies that I've helped is cutting out dairy. Dairy, like, give your body a break from dairy, babe. Just watch to see how that helps you. Dairy, our body just does not digest dairy very well, especially as you get older, and it can just sit in your gut and ferment and cause a whole bunch of gut issues, cause gut dysbiosis, causes fermentation, which makes you bloated and gassy, and it actually disrupts your hormones. And that's even whey protein. So I know a lot of you like to have your whey protein, but even that can cause hormone issues and bloating and gut issues. Another simple thing you can do is have more prebiotics and probiotics. That's going to really nourish and feed your gut bacteria. It's food for your gut. Did you guys know that majority of your hormones and neurotransmitters are actually made in the gut? Things like your happy hormones like serotonin, dopamine, all of these things are so important for you to feel good. It controls your appetite, it controls your other hormones. And if your gut is not healthy, if your gut microbiome is not balanced, babe, it's going to actually affect your other hormones as well. And if you have cortisol issues, cortisol face, it causes you to retain water. That's another reason why you're feeling bloated. Another reason why women will feel bloated is they're not pooping properly. So if you are constipated, babe, do not ignore that. You should be pooping every day, okay? Nice, healthy, soft formed poops. So important. Some things that help with just pooping properly is making sure you're hydrated. You can even have some MCT coconut oil. I teach my girls to put it in their coffee if they're fasting in the morning. You can have MCT coconut oil in your coffee. You can drink it with water, but these are things that will really help soften your stool. Even magnesium. I mean, magnesium is so good for your hormones. And then on top of it, it's going to also help soften your stool. But I want you pooping properly every day. That in itself is going to help you flatten out your tummy and feel so much better, babe. Okay, so now let's talk about rectus diastasis. So the belly is sticking out because your muscles are weak and they're feeling like a loose balloon. You might even have lower back issues because your core is so weak. You do not want to do crunchies or sit-ups. If you've had a baby girl, I do not want you doing any crunchies or sit-ups ever again. Okay, you don't need to do that. Even those exercises they teach you, like those side bends, or you see the machines, you don't want to do anything like that. That's actually going to make your core thicker. It's not going to snatch your waistline. Okay. And just so you know, waist trainers do not help with belly fat at all. Okay. Even the sweatbands, none of that stuff. You might lose a little bit of water weight, but it's not going to actually help you lose fat. Okay. The purpose of a waist trainer, which is what I'm wearing right now, and it's a very specific one that is supportive but also very flexible. It's not cutting off my rib cage. It's not influencing how I breathe, but it's causing nice support in my core. And you're only wearing a waist trainer when you're lifting weights. If your abdominal muscles have been split apart from babies, you probably don't know it. Most women don't. And then you're lifting weights, it's going to cause those muscles to separate even more and bulge out even more. Wearing a waist trainer when you're lifting weights or even carrying things around the house, it's going to help protect your abs from bulging out even more from the pressure. Okay, this is why you'll often see bodybuilders, both women and men, will often waist train, especially before a show, because it helps to support their core. Otherwise, when you're lifting heavy weights, you end up getting thicker in your core area. Just ask a bodybuilder, okay? One that's actually won, by the way. And then the other thing you can do that's going to help so much is something called stomach vacuums. And this is something I've taught a lot on my channels. And that is an isometric stomach vacuuming exercise that causes you to pull and retighten your stomach muscles. It helps tighten your core, re-strengthen your core, your abs, so your TVA muscle, that's your natural corset muscle that wraps around from your back to your abs. It's not your six-pack muscle. It's deeper than that. It's actually what flattens your stomach, or it makes you look like you have a flat stomach because you're actually flattening your abs. It actually strengthens your lower back as well, and it even helps with the pelvic area if you're a woman and you've had babies. These are simple things that you can do. You don't even need to do it in a gym, girl. You can do it at home. I teach my girls how to do it lying down, like in bed. You can do it standing up. You can do it bent over. You can do it on all fours. It feels so good. Like the girls that do it, all my ladies that do it love it so much because you feel so much tighter. It's a fast, simple way to shrink your waistline, but actually strengthen your core. You feel better, you look better, you're actually stronger because of it. Now, if you're still wanting to get surgery, this is what I teach my girls, okay? So I'm not, this channel, I don't judge any woman for doing anything. I don't know your situation, okay? I just want you to be healthy and do what feels good for you. My recommendation, if you're wanting to get surgery, instead of just jumping in and getting a tummy tuck or just getting any sort of surgery, liposuction, anything like that, try some of the things that I've taught first, because surgery doesn't help with visceral fat, surgery doesn't help with your hormones, and surgery doesn't help with your energetics, changing your actual identity so you can actually maintain this. This is why I often end up having women that come to me that have had surgeries and they're not happy with their body because they haven't been able to fix their hormones, they still have visceral fat, or they're just not feeling good. I'm all about working on the things that I talked about, actually lowering your stress levels, actually re-regulating your hormones and your nervous system and your feminine energy, lose the belly fat, and then if you have a little bit of extra skin or you feel like you want something, then look at those options. Let me know if this was helpful for you girls. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll also post my 90-day cortisol detox, nervous system and feminine energy re-regulating challenge, where I walk you girls through all of this. We work on all of it. We work on your stomach, we work on your belly fat, we work on retightening your core with stomach vacuums, we work on nervous system re-regulating, we work on your feminine energy, we work on all of it. I got you girls. Love you.